Hey, my name is Andy, and this is how to build a 5-page website, the series on Andy Taught Me How. So I've got a cast of thousands. I don't know if you can see them or not. The good news is I took a screenshot before we got started so that you can see them in just a minute. Now, why did I do that? First off, I want to share credit where credit is due. Secondly, I want to talk about BizStackPro, which is a souped up version of GoHighLevel. They've got all kinds of amazing add-ins that are built into it now that well, it just takes it to a whole nother level. As one person in our cast of thousands described, it's a Pegasus or a unicorn or both. Anyway, so what the reason I'm doing that for is if you think that you relate to somebody better in the cast of thousands, then you have questions about BizStackPro, talk to them. Don't just talk to me. Because if they can help you get started with BizStackPro, then you're going to find somebody that you relate to and they are qualified to help you get started. So now let's just continue real quick. We are going to, I went to the builder notes. I want to go back. Let's go back to the beginning. All right, today we are going to complete the about page. Actually, what we're going to do is review a little bit about where we stopped last week. It was a little bit frustrating to me because it took so long to get where we were. I've done some things to make that build a little bit quicker, and hopefully we can finish the about page today. As we continue, please remember that you can pause and rewind or stop and rewind and replay. You can speed up or slow down the video on YouTube. That way that you are getting exactly the information that you need, not just the how to, but the why. So we're doing a little bit of theory as we're building practice. You can follow the live build at any time just by going to andytaughtmehow.com. You'll see a pop-up when you get there, and it will tell you the last page that we worked on, or the page we worked on the previous Tuesday. So that will help you see where we are, what we've done, and also warn you that the site is not 100%. Some buttons don't work until we complete the pages. Some forms work, but then you're going to get a 404 when you complete the form because we haven't built all of the thank you pages or the automations for it. So just be patient. It's coming. The good news about the it's coming part is you're going to learn exactly how to do it step by step. All right. So I've got a whole bunch of custom CSS and we've got some custom code as in HTML and JavaScript built into this site. And I'm sharing every single bit of it with you. It's all transparent. And you can see that by going to andytaughtmehow.com/custom-CSS. And on that, you'll actually see something that Shelly contributed to this project, a floating go to top button. Make sure you scroll down on that custom CSS page and look at that, and you can look at how to implement it to your own site. Here we go. If you are interested in more things like this, building a 5-page website, or you're interested in automations, or you want to build a brand for your business or your personal brand, then you probably want to subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up on this video, and then click the notification bell and select all so that you get notified when we release new videos. Sometimes you'll get a chance to know because of social media. Sometimes you'll get a chance to know because you are a subscriber on the email list and you'll get notifications that way. But sometimes I'll slip one in there and I'll be sneaky like a ninja. And the only way you'll know about it is if you are subscribing and you have the notification bell clicked and you've chosen all. That way you can find all the latest info. All right, we talked about BizStackPro. This is built on GoHighLevel, but even better than that, this is built on BizStackPro. Like I said, is a super turbocharged version of BizStackPro. It's like we jumped on the space shuttle and took off, and we haven't stopped yet to look behind us. And then finally, I want to talk about builder notes. These are 15 to 30-minute videos that talk about specific things that you can do in BizStackPro or with your own business. That you can use all of these things that I'll teach you in these builder notes and apply them to your GoHighLevel or BizStackPro account and be that much farther along. There are a ton. I just completed a list of, I think, 40 topics that I'll get to over the next few weeks. I'd like to release 2 or 3 a week. It just depends on how the rest of the work schedule goes. And then we're going to build some amazing things together. Now, this website, and any website that you build, whether you are an agency or you're doing it for your personal brand or you're helping a friend out, you need to have your mission statement before you start building. You can't just, well, you can, but you're going to be frustrated when it's all said and done. You can't just start adding forms and adding elements and all these things to your website until you know what your website's going to be about. So we came up with a mission statement. I help blank so they can blank without blank. In this case, I help entrepreneurs so they can have an online presence without being overwhelmed. Oh my goodness. Talk about overwhelmed. All right. And where we are today, we started building this mock-up as an about page for Andy Taught Me How. So if you go to andytaughtmehow.com/about, you're going to see the beginnings of this page. Right now, we've just got the first two sections done. These two right here. Oh, I see now I need to turn on my mouse. So give me just a second. By the way, if you don't know this already, I'm running Linux, and you may see things a little bit differently than what you would see on your Mac or your PC. So give me just a sec. Let me turn on my mouse. Why don't I do this beforehand every time? I don't know. Anyway, hold on. We're going to do a shell mouse dash. How about yellow? All right. Now I have a yellow glow around my mouse. Woohoo! All right. So this is where we stopped last week. We finished these two sections. I named the sections. I believe I named everything in it and added alt text to images. So now this is where we're going to be today, and hopefully even more. These three middle sections are, you can see they're different, little bit different shades. We're going to add those in. These are 4 cards that we're going to add. One of our cast of thousands, her name is Miss Wheezy. She doesn't like cards, but we're going to have to do them despite what she likes or not, because that's what, we got to do. Anyway. All right. So we are going to jump right in. We're going to start with this section right here. And then because it's so close to this one below it, we're going to clone that section and save some time in formatting and make it happen. So before I get started, let me stop sharing my screen and see if anybody has any questions from the cast of thousands before I get started to see what we got going on. All right. Does anybody have anything to say before we go? Anybody? Uh-oh, Shelly Jean's about to click her mouse. No?
Yep, I have you on my YouTube TV right behind me.
There you go. I'm
There
on the
you
YouTube
go.
TV. Thank you very much. That's good to know. All right. So let me share my screen again. We've got some chats. What's with the chats? I have it. Oh, there you go. I see it. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to jump in feet first and go crazy. Are you ready? Here we go. So this is I keep saying brand new. It's not brand new. My new BizStackPro account. I'm going, when you open your BizStackPro account, you get to go to the dashboard. We want to go to sites, and then we're going to go to websites, and then we're going to go to Andy Taught Me How. All right. And today we are working on the About page. Right here we go. Oh, by the way, last week we talked about the digital marketing glossary. Oh, I forgot to tell you that we talked about that. So this is a glossary. Thank you to Shelly Turner for getting me started with this. And then I took it and ran a little bit more. So if you have a question for something that we may or may not have talked about, you can type it in there. If it's having to do with, I don't know, DNS, maybe. There we go. You can hit the D and it takes you to an index, and there is the DNS. So each of these are working definitions for all of the technical terms that you may hear as we run through building this website and all the automations and everything else. And you can get that by going to andytaughtmehow.com/glossary. You could also go to /dictionary. Either one takes you to the same place, and you can learn some great stuff as we go. And then as we continue to build in the pages and the automations and everything else that we're going to do, there may be new terms that aren't on there. I'll add them as quick as I remember that we added them or that we talked about them. So you're good to go with that. Let's go back. We can close this one up. We're going to go work on the About page. So we're going to click on Edit. And here we go. Come on, baby. All right, so I'm going to teach you a couple of new terms that you may or may not know. I think I've mentioned this one specifically before, but I'll tell you a little bit about it here in just a sec. Let's turn this guy off and come on down. Okay, we just finished this section last week. We have some other ones that we could work on. This one, now we'll just keep going. So let's delete this one. I love that panel, by the way. Go away. We're going to delete you. Say goodbye. All right, and we're going to delete this one, although this one is very nice to what we're going to build next. All right, so let's go here. This is after Andy. We're going to hit a plus. And then we are building, let me show you what we're building. We're building this section right here. So we're starting off with a 1-column row, and it's going to have, this is called an eyebrow. That's what I was going to teach you again. In case you didn't know, that's called an eyebrow. Then we've got a title, and then we've got a 4-column row underneath the title. So by the way, this is an H2. That means it's a second level heading. And the reason that you don't want to have an H1 here is because for good SEO, you have one H1. You can have multiple H2s. And then if you subcategorize underneath, for example, each of these titles, they could be H3s if we wanted to be. And that's probably the smartest thing for me to do. So I may consider doing that today. All right, here we go. We're adding a single column row. And we know that the background of this is going to be, there we go, is going to be a specific color. And I'm going to change it to, here we go. I need to add a color. It's not going to be our typical gray. And let me get to my notes here. By the way, if you get something or someone to help you mock up a website, part of what took me so long last week is I had to type in everything that I was doing. So I decided to save us all some time and headache and everything else, that I would go ahead and type in all of the text in a Google Doc. So that's what we're doing. And because I know exactly what color that is, I did a color test on it. I can just copy that and come back over here and paste it in as a new color. There we go. Save. That's our new color. Now we have in here an eyebrow, and then we have a title. So our eyebrow is really just a paragraph. It's going to be all caps. And it's going to be, it's not going to be bold. So we're going to turn bold off. It may be, no, we're not going to make it bold. All right. And then we know it's going to be a different color. It's going to be our gold color. So let's go grab it real quick. Gold. And then at some point in time, did I hit that in the wrong spot? Let's go check. Color gold. That's right. Why didn't it change? Well, we'll just do it here. All right. At some point in time, we know that we have to take off all kinds of, oh, it doesn't need to be bold. All kinds of the leading, the margin and the padding above and below, because it's really tight to our title. And we'll get back to that in a sec. So this is bold. So we're going to just change our font weight to, let's try semi-bold. That looks pretty good. Let's leave it there. All right. We're going to do a plus. We're going to grab a sub headline. This would be an H2, remember? And we want this to be our dark. And it's going to say my teaching philosophy. And why in the world is it italicized? Well, we're not going to make that italicized. All right. So we've got this, and it needs to be probably at least 20. It's going to have to be longer than that. Let's go with 30. What's going on here?
The size of the box is increasing, not the size of the font.
Yeah. Thank you, Chip. I bet it happened because we at one time adjusted it here. So we're going to change that there. That's better. 36. Thank you for that, sir. All right. Now we're ready to put in this 4-column row, and then we're going to do some major adjusting of the padding and the margin. So let's add a 4-column row. Now, what is this? That is still our 1 column. We're going to add the 4-column beneath it right here. 4-column row. And remember, once again, instead of trying to build 4 columns underneath this, I'm putting in a row because then I can take each of these columns and they automatically format themselves to a good width. So let's continue. Let me show you what we're doing. We have an icon, then we have a title. This could be an H3, and then we have a paragraph. Let's set that up real quick. Also notice that these are all going to be center aligned, so we don't have to worry about changing any of that. We're going to add an image. I have this image in-house already, so let's go grab it. And he taught me how. Now remember, I know I'm going kind of fast today, so if I'm going faster than you can grasp, that's okay. Slow down the video or pause it, rewind, stop, rewind, whatever you want to do. We're going to change our height to 70, maybe. That might be too big still. We'll see. Okay, we're going to add. This is going to be, we'll go ahead and call it a subheadline. We're going to call it an H3. It needs to be our dark color. General color, dark. Thank you. It is going to be bold. So text weight, there we go. Font weight, we're going to make it semi-bold. That's good for me. And this is going to say, uh-oh, you can't do a Control-Shift-V there. What am I thinking? Well, be that way. Well, why aren't you talking? There we go. All right. So we need to make this an H3 so that the SEO world doesn't get mad at us or anything. And then we are ready to, we're going to add a paragraph, and it is going to be our dark color for the font. There we go. All right, so let's look at what we have. We have an icon on top and then a title and then our text below it. We can certainly see that we have to adjust margins and header. But what we need to do, what I'm going to concentrate on now, is this entire column. We call this a card. This entire card has rounded corners and a white background. So let's do that. Now remember, that's going to be at the column level, the parent column level. So right here. We're going to go to styles. We're going to give it a corner radius of 10. And it's going to happen to all four because we left that blue. And then we want to change the background to white. So let's click somewhere else so we can come back and look at it. We have a card. We have corner radiuses. And it is background white. That matches pretty good. I may do some font sizing later on. I'm not sure. Also notice that we do have some padding between on the right and left margins. So I think I'm going to adjust that so that we wrap the words correctly. So let's do that real quick. All right, so that means that we need to give padding on this styles. Let's give it 10 and 10. Also, what you probably want to make sure that you do on one side, you do on the other. So in this case, we want to adjust the margin, the padding on both the left and the right side so that it's equal and it wraps both sides whenever we want to do that. Now, this clear step-by-step training, I think that's a larger font than what we have here. So let's jump that, let's say 22. And once again, we're going to have to adjust that. That's interesting why that's doing that. We want to change that to 22 here. Make it 20. Make it 24. That looks more like what we have. There we go. All right. I think that's pretty close. Now, what we make sure that we need to make sure we do is on the right side of this entire column, we want to give some margin, right? Because we've got a margin here. And what I typically do is half on the right of this and then half on the left of this one. So if I'm going to give this a 20 pixel margin altogether, then I'll give a 10 pixel on the right of this side and then a 10 pixel on the right of both sides of this one since it's a central column or central card. Let's do that real quick. We're back in the column. All right, styles. And we're going to give it a margin right here of 10. All right, so we are ready to clone, just like we did before. We're going to clone this and clone it. Look what we did. So let's take away this one. We're going to change. Oh, we need to change this. This is called a task list. This is general. And the alt text says blue Task list icon. Good. All right, we're going to replace this one. This is going to be a wireframe globe. So while I'm thinking about it, we need to name this section. And we're going to come over here just in case we need to get to it in the future and say what makes ATMH different. There we go. All right, we can adjust this one now. Remember, I said we need the same margin on the left and the right for these interior columns or cards, whichever you'd like to call them. There we go. And I'm actually going to call this step-by-step card. This one's going to be called. Okay. There we go. We're going to clone it. Moving a little bit faster today. Thank goodness. All right. This is going to be a gear or a cog. I don't know what you guys call it. I think that's in America. We would call this a gear, right? Does everybody call that a gear? Maybe a sprocket? In Europe and everywhere else, I believe they call that a cog. I'm not sure. I think if I remember, Graham David Holroyd calls that a cog. He don't know anything that we can't talk about him. All right, about page. There it is. Oh my goodness. There we go. Took long enough. All right. And let's clone this one. Let's delete this one. And then on this one, we can take off the right margin because it's on the end of the row. Say goodbye. And this is going to be a blue rocket. Let's go get it. General. Now, I've mentioned this before, but just in case you didn't catch it or you were absent that day or you were busy getting coffee when I said it, I created all of these icons in Canva, and I taught you exactly how to do that by going to the Andy Taught Me How builder note, create icons in Canva. So that'll help you do that. And then after that, I showed you how to change it from a PNG to a WebP. And I actually showed you the difference in size and why it's more efficient to do it this way. I know you think I don't know what I'm talking about. I actually do on this one. All right. And this one says, there we go. Except I don't think I typed this out, so you got to watch me type. Did I spell anything wrong? Woohoo! Okay, so we have completed this section. We can clone it and then make another one just like it, just a little bit different. So I guess it's not just like it. I'm kind of confused about these fonts. That's what happened. They didn't retain when I pasted in. Let's go fix it. We want Fire Sans. There we go. Fire Sans. Now, I am sure that's because I didn't take time to make sure when I pasted that I was just pasting the plain text. Same thing here. Oh, that one worked. Now, this one is 16 and this one's 11. That's interesting. Let's fix it. There we go. Good deal. All right, I think we're ready to copy and paste or clone. It looks like this should have a wrap also. So let's fix that before I go. So we're going to change this to 10 and change this to 10. That's better. All right, let's clone it. Here we go. Clone. Now, this shade of the background is a little bit different than the one I had. So let's go fix that real quick. General, we're looking at the section. We're going to change our color and we're going to do a new color. And it's going to be E6EAF3. And hit save. Now, it's just a little bit different than that one. I don't know if you can see that in a video, but I promise it is. All right, let's change the eyebrow. Oh, well, we'll fix that later. All right, change the eyebrow. Okay. So once again, we're now on this third. Well, actually, this is the fourth. If we look at the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on the fourth. Let's go fix it real quick. We've already changed the color. We're going to call this the who this is for section, and then we'll fix all these cards real quick. Okay. This is a blue person, the blue man group, right? That's one concert or event that I haven't seen that I'd love to see someday, the Blue Man Crew, the Blue Man Group, whatever they're called. Okay, so while we're here doing this, let's talk about why you want your about page, what you want to happen with your about page. 100%. Your about page is to start building know, like, and trust with whoever is viewing your page. And then it adds credibility and authority for you as the author or your client or whoever the page belongs to. So we've got to start with building know, like, and trust. So that's what we're doing here. All of these things are talking about Andy taught me how. Some of the stuff behind it, some of the stuff behind me, etc. Some examples of what you're going to see as you take the courses or follow the videos or whatever it is. So that's what we're working on now. All right, small business owners. So this is part of who it's for. All right, we're going to change the globe to a storefront or a shop or a house. Looks like we've got, oh, we'll have to fix this too. That's all right. That's something else to teach. Hold on just a second. This is going to be creators and coaches, and it's a blue pencil. And this guy is, oh, now I call this an atom. And that's what, when I talked about it as an atom to, there we go, to Canva, it called it chaos. So that's more appropriate when we're talking about overwhelm. All right, so let's fix this real quick. Please notice that if this were all perfect, all of these would align correctly, right? So you'd be able to draw a line through all of these titles and they'd be right. That's not the case right here. See this complete beginners? It's below the same level as these. And that's because this particular line, this paragraph element is only using 2 lines and these are using 3. So I can either adjust these to use 2, make this use 3, or let's see about this alignment thing, that this little alignment hack that we can make happen. We change the bottom margin on the card to auto. There we go. Uh-oh, that's not going to work. That's right. I'll go ahead and do it to make it all consistent. Bottom margin. Come here, you. I'm sorry, I got to look around the camera. Yes, sir.
The complete beginners is in more bold print than the others.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'll take a look at it.
Well, the small business owners is in the small print, but the others are bold too.
And these are all supposed to be H. No, they're H2. That's right. No, these are H3. These should be H3. Good eye, Mr. Willie. We're going to check it out. We want this to be 22.
And bold.
Hold on just a sec. I want that to be 22. All right. And it should be bold.
Bold.
And we want this to be H3. And we want this to be 22. That looks better. All right, so I've got a sheet. Go ahead.
Could you add a third line with no content after clear guidance to make the box bigger? Sure.
like that.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So I need to fix these and go back and check the other ones because I want all these to be H3 and I want them to be 22. It's good to go back and review, make sure you didn't mess up somewhere like I did. I realize that y'all don't ever mess up. I'm sorry.
Oh, I messed up most of the time.
Maybe
Because
we
I got a good eye.
maybe these should be. That's right. Let's just make this a little
Oh,
bit.
you didn't change that to H3. That's H2.
I'll check it. There we go. Okay. Good eye, y'all. Thank you very much. You saved me some headache in the future. Done. All right. So we have finished this section. That was fast. So let me just point that out to you why that was so much faster than what we did last week is because I went ahead and typed out all of the text, like I said, into a document so I could just copy and paste instead of trying to type and backspace in front of y'all and mess up. Now, what I will do offline after we're done today recording is I will go ahead and change the alignment. I'm sorry, the margins and padding on these two lines because they're not quite what I'm looking for, but that's all right. Let's see what's next. So what you can expect, that's also the same thing almost. Take a look at this section right here. Look close and then look close down here. That's almost the same thing. So I'm going to do that real quick. We're going to take this eyebrow and clone it. And we're going to drag the eyebrow down here because I want it to be just above what you'll learn. And then we want that to be left aligned, general. Oh no, styles left. There we go. And it's going to say what you can expect.
I have a very difficult question.
Okay.
The line. We were trying to find the line.
This line down here,
Huh?
this line here,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a, hold on. Chip, let me come back to you after I answer Willie real quick. So this is an H. It's an H330, H230. This should be an H2. We want it to be an H230 also. Now, I know that some people aren't such a stickler for matching fonts, but I am, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, Mr. Will. This line is called a divider element, and you go up to your plus and you scroll down, and in any minute, we're gonna see a divider element right here. You see it? And then you can change, you can insert that into your document. You can change how thick the line is by changing it from a 1, 2, 3, or 4, etc. You can change it how wide it is by percentage. And then you can change whether it's center aligned or left aligned or right aligned, wherever you want it to go.
All
So
right.
that's an element that you drag in place.
All right.
Now, in the past, I've had a problem when I've pasted these in. So I'm going to leave the first line and go after that. Yep, that's okay, but we're good to go. So we're going to go to this first one and we're going to hit delete and enter. Look at there. We're cheating. All right. We have just completed that section. I'm not saying we're cheaters, but we did it. All right. So then we've got this last section here, this black one. This is a pretty section. Shelly Turner, are you here? Are you listening? Oh, Chip had a hand. Chip, go ahead.
I want to quibble with your wording a bit.
Yes, sir.
This is perfect for you. Can you slide back up to that? This training is perfect for you if complete beginners, if small business owners. Seems to me it should be this training is perfect for complete beginners, small business owners.
Good answer. Leave the 3 dots, leave the ellipsis.
Yep,
Good answer. Thank you very much for that.
sure.
All right. So I'm going to stop sharing real quick because I see that I have a question or two. And let's go. Stop share. All right. Blue Man Group are wonderful, funny, and fun and weird. Chip saw the Blue Man Group. That's funny. All right. So Shelly had to take a bio break, and people are asking. Shelly Turner took a bio break, and people are asking, what is a bio break? That means bathroom. Okay. All right. Miss Linda, what is your question?
It's a small one. You changed the texts in the H3. What do you use for the text above? Is it H1 or H2?
No, you should have only one H1 on your whole page, and then each
On the whole
section
page?
can be H2s. Right. And you're talking about that little, what I call the eyebrow. That's just paragraph.
Yeah.
So that would be a P.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay, but you use one H1 for the whole page.
Yes.
And how much H2, H3? Does that also matters?
Each section should have an H2 because it's a section.
Okay.
The H1 is your title or your main attention getter. Then each section is an H2, and underneath it can have H2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as you needed to.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Anybody else before I go back to the screen sharing? No. Oh, Shelly, I wanted to ask you. Let me share my screen. Share. And then let me grab my, where'd you go? Here. Miss Turner. That's the wrong one.
Yes.
Oh, here's what I want right here. All right, finally. All right. This guy, how would you build that 1, 2, 3, 4?
I'd probably do it as an image. I'd do it as an image.
Okay, so I'll come back to that. That will be an image. So what we're about to do is just like we've done up here, just like we did here, we're going to have an eyebrow and a title and then a 4-column row. So let's build that real quick. We're almost finished with this thing. Boom, shaka. All right, here we go. So we just finished this one. Let's come on down. All right. So this whole section is going to go away. I could just clear it out and make it the case. Let's do that. Goodbye. Goodbye. Get rid of that big noggin. All right. So we have a single 1-column row. This section is going to be called Your Learning Journey, General. All right. And once again, since we already have this stuff somewhere else, let's just clone it and do it again. Clone. And then drag. Come on down. Right there. And it's going to be white. There we go. And then we're going to grab the eyebrow and clone it. And drag it down. And it's going to go just above that. There we go. And this is what I stand for. All right, this section.
This is what I stand for. This I stand for.
What I stand for. Oh, I'm not finished. Hold on. I haven't changed this font, this text yet. Give me a sec. I know you're ready to whoop me. Hold on. Oh no, this is your learning journey. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to insert a 4-column row. Like Shelly said, we're going to do these 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. We're going to do that a little bit later. Maybe. I'll think through that. Okay. 4-column row. Okay, and once again, this is a 4-column row, and inside of each column, we've got a 2-column row, just like we've done this so many places before. We're going to do it again, right? 2-column row, icon, and then a subtitle and a text, and then we'll clone that 3 times. So let's build that real quick. We're going to go here. We're going to add a 2-column. We're going to add an image. And then I've got the image. This is a toolkit. Uh-oh. I guess not. I didn't build them yet. No, I did this one. There it is. All right. Now that, well, we'll look at styling this. Let me show you where I'm at. So there's a border with probably a 10 pixel wrap rounding, and then the icon in the middle, and it looks like it's on a background of that blue. So we may not attain that today. We'll see. Let's go see where we're at. We're going to add a sub headline, and we're going to get it right this time and call it an H3. All right, and then we're going to add a little bit of paragraph underneath it. And these are left aligned, and I didn't take advantage of that, so I will in just a sec. All right, so this, excuse me, this needs to be left. Styles, left. This one needs to be left. And this font looks like it's smaller. Too small. All right, take a look. We've got to get our spacing down, and this line height is probably bigger than I want. I might drop that down to 1.2 and see what it looks like. Let's go see. So over in the paragraph element, the settings for the paragraph element, see this right here? This is our line height. This is what I was talking about. I'm going to change this to 1.2. Now, as soon as I hit enter, you should notice the spacing between the lines gets a little bit tighter, and that's what we want to do. See, it did it. It's not quite everywhere we want to be. It looks like I need to go ahead and adjust this image. We already said, didn't we say 70 before? That's much better. And then we can adjust our space between the columns or column sizes. There we go. We're getting better. And finally, let's see. If you look with me along this section, we've got way too much spacing there. Let's fix that. So that means we need to remove or reduce the bottom padding. So I'm going to take it away. And then we're going to reduce the top padding on this. And we're going to find out that, oh, that looks pretty good. All right. And then I just got to decide if I'm going to wrap, if I'm going to put let's see. Can we put a border on the image and then do a background? No, it'd have to be on the content. Right there. I'll think about that. Let's clone this and go next. So we're getting on the lavender color. No, we're on the 2-column row. No, we're on the lavender. So we're in the column. We're going to clone it. There we go. And then we'll delete this column. Much better. This is going to be 2 people. And they're white on blue. I don't know. Let's go see. General. I need to change this real quick. Toolkit. All right, here we go. Change this. I think this looks like a workshop more than two people does. All right, and we're going to clone this one because we are that fast. And we're going to delete this one. All right, we're going to change. This is it's an application. Woohoo! Build your app. Build your pages. We're getting there. So we're going to call this an application. All right, let's clone this one. And get rid of the final one. And we are almost done with this section too. Once again, the reason we're able to fly through this is because I took the time to build the icons in advance, and then also to transform the image that I saw in my mockup to text. So the good news is with those, the icons and the text is I can do that while other things are happening. In my case, while we're watching TV at home, I can do some of this work, or while I'm working on another project where it doesn't take all of my concentration or all my time. For example, if I'm doing work on a computer and it's doing updates or things like that, then I can do this at the same time. So that's kind of what I did. All right, now I've got to make this not wrap. So let's see what we've got. I could take off any right. There isn't any. Let's change this picture first to see what else we have. Oh, we got another rocket. General. So I'm looking at my stuff and realizing, there it is, that this should have been the two people. Let's go fix it. Yeah, so then I will come back and change the stuff behind it. And this is a different toolkit too. That actually looks a bit better. All right, so let's change. We're going to move this in. I hate doing this. That's what it's supposed to look like. Can I get close? There we go. So if I'd paid attention, I would have built this one first because for some reason this is wider. Oh, the confidence. Yeah, so then I would have adjusted these all the same because it's hard to get them exactly the same. It's hard to get them exactly the same because we can't change numbers and make the numbers exact, right? We can only move stuff with our mouse. That's all right. I'm just going to say that's close. And y'all don't tell anybody I did it different. So we're the same thing. We need to come to this section right here, the column row, 2-column row, and we're going to adjust it by putting some auto margin on the bottom. Maybe if I can see. There we go. And we'll do the same thing on these. All right. That looks pretty good. Not to brag or anything. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty good. So what I will do is I'll come back and build this square, the border around it, and make it that blue color for the background beneath the image. All of those images have a transparent background, so we should be good there. So I can do that after the fact. I still have to put in these numbers and everything that Shelly said we should do with images, which is a great idea. So I am going to build this next section first. Now, is this close enough to be a clone? Hold on, Chip. Is this section close enough to be a clone to these? No, because those all have icons beside. So that's going to be a brand new section. Let's jump on it real quick. Actually, we are at a stopping point today. Go ahead, Chip. Let me stop sharing.
Just noting that launch with confidence is 2 lines on your original, and the explanation is shorter than the others, so that evens out. I also wondered whether launch confidently would reduce the size enough that it could be more similar to the other 3.
That's a good idea. Let's change it real quick.
Yeah, you're not sharing with us, by the way.
I didn't want you to see what I was doing. I think part of this wrap looks different just because of the way the words are. That does look good. I like that confidently better. So what I could do is write a class, a CSS class, that would make each of these columns a specific size or percentage. I don't know what I'll do about that. Let's see.
Can I toss in another 2 cents?
Yes, sir. I'll take
Build
all
your
the
pages as 4 lines, but if it was follow the training and build page by page with confidence.
instead of
Right.
build your site.
Yeah, because the whole thing is talking about your site, so that's a little redundant. There you go.
Look at there. Supporting cast of thousands comes back with the win. Thank you very much, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me stop sharing. We are at the end of our time. We are so close to finishing this. I wanted to wrap it up today, but we didn't make it. So how close are we? Let me look at my image. There's our image. So yeah, I've got one more section to go, and then everything else is the same. My promise to you, that's where we're at. We'll get to that next week and finish it there. All right, so let me see. Do we have any questions, comments, constructive criticisms? Don't tell me I stink. I took a shower today. Do we have any comments or anything before we stop recording? Anybody? Anybody? Yes, sir. Mr. Will, go ahead.
You smell good.
I smell good. For those that don't know, last week, Mr. Will adopted me as his older brother. So I am the big brother to Big Daddy Willie Bradley. There you go. All right, so I'm going to stop recording. Thank you all for being here. If you are on YouTube, please make sure you do the like and subscribe and all the things. If you need to get in touch with me, you can leave a comment here. If you want to leave a comment for any of the people in the cast of thousands, you can do that as well. And then let's see. I'll see you again next Tuesday. So YouTubers, you get this usually on Thursday afternoons. We record them live on Tuesday mornings. If you want to be a part of the live recording, you can. All you got to do is go to andydelgado.com/toolkit, and that will get you started on this entire session with all the documentation and everything that you needed to plan your website, including our website mission statement. All right, so I'm stopping the recording. You guys hold on just a sec, and we'll pick up right after this. Thank you very much. Be blessed. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.